right, what's up, guys? We've got another box sent in by a subscriber. So this isn't mine. It was on a list of knives that I wanted to take a look at to review for the channel that I posted on my channel a while back. And I got some good responses from subscribers with some of the knives that I requested. So big thanks to the dude who sent this in. Thanks, buddy. Let's check this out. This is the new Microtech Ultratech ZBP, Zero Blade Play. That's a big deal in the OTF world. Huge deal. If you don't know too much about OTFs, OTF stands for out the front, and it's an automatic knife. People have called them, switchblades or stilettos, but it's an OTF auto. And Microtech is one of the most popular makers of the OTF knife, and they've been doing it for a long time, but this is the first time they've ever had an out the front automatic with zero blade play. Now what I mean by blade play is this. On all OTFs, except for those made by Hawk, which we'll talk about here in a minute, all OTFs have this amount of play. When the blade is extended, it's not solid with the handle. It's got movement. Some more than others. This shootout from Benchmade is probably pretty good as far as OTFs go. I definitely felt more wiggle on other OTFs, but they all have some, with the exception of Hawk deadlocks. So Hawk makes this OTF called the Deadlock, and it's completely rock solid. Now, interestingly, I don't know exactly legally what happened, but recently Hawk contacted Microtech and said, hey, you are violating one of our patents or whatever. I don't know exactly the legal terminology. So there was a little bit of a legal back and forth between Hawk and Microtech, and I don't know what the result of that was. However, Microtech recently made an announcement saying that the next gen of the Ultratech will not be in ZBP. It will be regular wiggly blade form, which is interesting. So immediately I thought, okay, well, Hawk must have won that legal battle, whatever it was. But then the Microtech rep went on to say that the ZBPs will still be available, but they're going to be more expensive. So the Microtech ZBPs will be available, but they're not going to be this price anymore. They're going to be more expensive. And the new Ultratechs are going back to the wiggly blades. Interesting. I'm assuming they made some kind of compromise with Hawk. Who knows what that is? Maybe Hawk gets a cut of the sales of the ZBP versions. I don't know. But if you bought one of the ZBPs in the last couple months, good job. Hang on to those, because you got them cheaper than anyone will ever be able to get them again, I imagine. But I wanted to try a ZBP just to experience it. You know, I'm so used to having wiggly bladed OTFs that I thought it'd be cool just to see how rock solid it actually was. And yeah, they weren't kidding. This is absolutely rock bank vault solid. Cannot move this blade a fraction of anything. It's not moving. That's pretty neat. Aside from that, this is just your average Ultratech. There are some upgrades from previous generations, such as this milled titanium clip with the ball on it. And I think this glass breaker looks a little bit lower profile than they were in the past, which is good. I'm not a glass breaker on a knife fan. I would rather that just not even be there. But at least it seems to be a little bit smaller than previous versions. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this ball clip either. However, I did slip it in and out of my jeans a few times, and it worked really well. So I can't really talk shit about it if it works really well. I might not like the look of it, but it sure works nicely. This version is clear apocalyptic standard. I'm guessing that's just the finish. It sort of has like a nice brushed finish to the aluminum. It looks really nice. Another change is their crud cutter, which are these little slots that are milled down in the slot here, the switch slot. And that's supposed to give debris a place to go instead of gumming up the operation of the switch. Sort of, instead of gumming up the bearings or whatever makes this switch go, it goes down inside these slots and gets out of the way. I think that's kind of a cool idea if it works. You know, who knows if it does. Also, I think this switch is on bearings now. I'm not sure if it always was or they just upgraded them, but supposedly this switch is easier to push now, which I think it is. It feels really nice, really smooth. My test for a smooth switch is if I can do it with one finger, and yes, I can. I can't do that with a shootout. It's just it's too strong of a spring. This one I can. And it seems to fire just as hard, maybe even harder than the shootout. I think it does fire harder than the shootout. So that's cool. That's a very, very smooth switch. Also, these little holes in this fuller I think are new. That looks pretty neat. This is the drop point version. There's a lot of different blade shapes with Ultratechs, but this is the drop point one. Now, I've never really been a fan of the Ultratech. I owned one for a while. It just seems a little bit too long and skinny for my liking. I prefer my knives to be a little bit maybe shorter and broader this way. I don't like long, skinny knives. I just never have liked the look of them. Now, I did own a UTX 85 for a while, which is the shrunken down Ultratech by a little bit, and I like that much better. I like the proportions of that one better. But you know, the Ultratech is very popular. A lot of people love it. The switch is the same switch, the same pattern they've been using on the switch, which I really like. It's very grippy and it looks cool. Just a bunch of X's piled on top of each other. I like that look. Compared to the shootout, one other main difference is the blade actually comes out of the center of the handle on the shootout. And on the Ultratech, it comes out a little bit to the left or to the right, depending on how you're holding it. It doesn't come out of the center of the handle, which annoys someone like me that likes things to be symmetrical. Again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the performance of anything, but it's just a sort of a nitpicky, bugs my OCD sort of thing. You can see how much skinnier the blade is on the Ultratech. The shootout is the only OTF I own for a few reasons. It's my favorite one that I've ever tried because I like the look of it. It's got a broader handle. See how everything is just thicker this way and everything on the Ultratech is sort of pulled out skinny? I just prefer the look on the shootout. The blade is broader. You know, the blade comes out of the center of the handle. Also, it's a very slicey OTF. Look at how thin the blade stock is on the shootout compared to the Ultratech. Much thinner on the shootout. And a much larger flat grind. You know, there's more time to taper down to a thin measurement behind the edge on the shootout. It actually slices really nicely. This one, however, is not going to slice very nicely. The Ultratech is not really great for everyday cutting. It's just not. I owned one for a while and tried it. It did not cut very well. Just did. The Ultratech is more of a tactical sort of weapon, I guess you could call it, that looks really cool, feels really cool. Would be great in a self-defense scenario, but is not super practical for day-to-day cutting. If you're just opening packages and breaking down a box here and there, you'll be fine. But if you're doing a lot of cutting on a lot of different kinds of materials, this is not your best option by far. That being said, I still kind of want to own a UTX 85 again. They're just cool, you know. Microtechs have a very distinct look. They're just cool, you know. They're just cool. Now, one thing I will notice, will mention, while the blade might not have any play, the switch has a lot. A lot of movement, a lot of clicky-clacky movement with the switch. Not as much in the open position, but still there. It wouldn't annoy me, but every time you put your finger on the switch to actuate it, it makes like a clicky noise, like it's moving around. That bugs me a little bit. There's got to be a reason why that's like that. You'd think that they would make it solid if they could, but I don't know for sure. I wish it was solid. This one, very solid. It's not going to make the same clicky noise because this is FRN instead of aluminum and titanium, but still, it's just not moving around very much. Or actually, no, I lied. This switch is aluminum, but the handle is FRN. Nothing. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do a shake test. I wish I had more OTFs to shake, but these are the only two I own. Or, yeah, this is the only one I own. This is the only loaner I have here at the moment. So there you go. There is 0 blade play, which is really cool. Rattly switch. Personally, don't love the look of the long skinniness of it. Don't love ball clips, but it works really well. I really like the see-through hardware on the clip. I think that's pretty cool touch. I just enjoy that. I'm assuming they did that so you can put a lanyard right there, which you can do. I like kind of the brushed finish. It looks nice. You know, the stone washing on the clip and the switch look really nice. Don't love that it fires out or doesn't fire out the center of the handle, and it's not the best cutter as far as the blade shape goes, blade geometry. So there you go, just a little overview of the Ultratech ZBP in comparison to the Shootout. Now, as far as feel of quality, this feels like a better product because it's made out of an aluminum handle. This one is plastic pretty much. It feels bad. It doesn't feel good at all. I do not like this handle, but I like the knife and I like the shape of the handle. It had a little loop back here for a lanyard. I just ground that off. I much prefer that gone. But if you're looking for an OTF that's super lightweight, a really good cutter, great deep crate pocket clip, and something you can just bang around and not worry about it breaking, the Shootout is a really good choice. Now, it is too expensive. I got mine on sale for $200. They're definitely a lot more than that brand new, especially nowadays. I think they went up in price. But if you can find one for sale or used, I would say pick up a Shootout, man. It fires nice and hard. The switch is great. I did a heavy-duty test on this where I threw it. I stabbed it into logs. I did a bunch of stuff. I even did some light batoning with it. And it survived everything. So it's pretty tough. Go watch that if you want to check that out. So yeah, there's my little ZBP video. Big thanks to the subscriber that lent this to me. And that's about it. Like the video before you head out. Let me know in the comments what you think of the new ZBP Ultratech. Are you going to buy one? Let me know. See ya.